Hello everyone, welcome back to the British content channel. Today's video is on steel essence farming. It's a semi-AFK method using ivara and the dash wire. It's very good and I like it very much. I found it initially on another channel, so I'll leave a link to them in the description, but I tweaked it a bit, yada yada yada. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so we're using ivara, as I mentioned, and here is the build that I've been using. So empowered quiver is basically the bread and butter of this. As you can see here, it gives us 322% crit damage. It's very, very strong. Now, if you want to, you can replace Umbral Intensifier with Rolling Guard for a bit more survivability, but you do get less strength and as a result, less crit damage. So, I prefer to have Intensify. Now, if you don't have Prime Sure-Footed, you can slot either Sure-Footed or Power Drift, your choice. So, we have a mix here of low range, because we don't need range for the setup at all, and very high duration, and that allows us to stay in Prowl for a lot longer. Prowl actually drains based off efficiency and duration, so the two of them together work really well. Now, I'm using Empower as the helmet ability just for more strength, or you can replace that with Smite from Oberon with Smite Infusion, or you can use Shock Trooper or Eclipse. Eclipse cannot be casted while on Dashwire though, so choose whether you like that. Okay, so we're using the Tomb Finger today, and we have Tomb Finger, Tremor, and Killstream as the parts, and here is the Rivenless setup. We need crit delay because that pushes over the 100% crit chance. However, that has negative fire rate, so we counteract that with 2 fire rate mods to make it bearable. We have Hush because that allows us to stay cloaked in Prowl while we still shoot the weapon. We have Hunter Munitions to deal with high armor and high health targets. Prime Firestorm because, yes. Galvanized Chamber because more multi-shot, and Serration for more damage. I've slotted Malignant Force here, and the reason for that is to get Toxin. Now, Toxin will deal health damage through shielded enemies, so things like Guardian Eximus, Nullifiers, anything that can spawn from fissures can be shielded enemies like the Mowers, the Nullifiers, Guardian Eximus, etc. So having Toxin allows to have one-shot potential for pretty much every enemy. And Malignant Force also helps to boost the status chance a little bit, just to have that chance of proccing Tox. Pax Charge is on the kit gun, and that's very important. That means we don't have to run for ammo, ever, and it will recharge on its own. And that's about it. If you have a Riven, you want crit chance on the Riven to replace critical delay. So here I'm running a crit chance damage, crit chance multi-shot, crit chance crit damage, all that stuff would work very well. And as you can see, I get over 100 crit chance, but I don't have the negative fire rate anymore. Now the secondary weapon doesn't matter at all, but I'm going to be using Glaive Prime as an Acolyte killer. We can use Glaive Prime with Ivara's Navigator, and as you can see, this has a huge damage multiplier. And with Glaive, this is the build I'm running. Here's the Riven. You don't need the Riven. Replace the Riven with Gladiator Might, and you're good to go. Focus School is Madurai. I'm running Madurai for Sling Strength. I'm using Sling Strength so that I can get extra ability strength before I cast my wire. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. One reason I really like this setup as well, you can run Smee to Kavat, and it pretty much will never die because you're invisible the whole time. So here's the build I'll be using for that. Okay, so I'm here on Elara on Jupiter, and it's a survival. This is a good tile set to use. This is a spawn tile set, and as you can see, we have this ramp, 2 doorways on the side, and a doorway on the front. So, to set up, proc Sling Strength, cast Empower, and then cast Dashwire. So I'm going to go on this wall, cross to this wall, and as you can see, that's 400% damage. So now what you do is start, we're going to hop on the Dashwire, go invisible, and shoot in. Every minute or so, just run down here, grab all the loot, and go back to your little hidey place. Now, once you get 250 stacks on Malt Augmented, it's a good idea to recast. So, again, Empower, Sling Strength, and Dash Wire. As you can see, we now have 471 damage, which is pretty good. Now, something to add, you can drop a Nidus Spectre if you have one of those set up, which I actually do, and when he links to you, you will get bonus strength on your cast. So with the Nidus Spectre and this build, we could push up to around 500%. Okay, so another tile set I like to do this is Annie on the Void. Annie has no nullifiers unless you're doing a Fisher, because it is the low level one. So we just do the same strat. Empower. Sling Strength. Jump up this wall here. And dash wire to that tree. Now this one depends on your enemy spawn points a little bit more than Alara does. But still very good. And it drops ferrite, so I love ferrite. So we're going to be shooting like around this middle section here. And so as you can see, the Toxin deals with the shielded enemies, the Hunter Munitions deals with the armored enemies, and yeah, it's as easy as that. So with the Acolytes, we're just going to use the glaive as soon as they spawn in. Here he is. And there you go, he's dead, so you just grab your Still Essence, and you're good to go. And this is Draco on Ceres, another good tile set. With a room like this, if you have a good room outside, the enemies will path to you, and it works very well. As you can see, they're going to run around this corner, and you can kill them. So this tile set outside the door is not the best. You're hoping for sort of like 2 ways that they can enter, but it works just fine. You just have to walk outside and grab the life support, which is a bit more dangerous, I suppose, but there you go. As you can see, you can farm alloy plates, circuits, Orokin cells. Okay, so if we were talking about a 4-man setting, some things that synergize well with the Ivara strategy is a Speed Nova. We have a negative strength build. Pretend Raw is not on this build. Ignore that, that doesn't exist. So we're going for completely negative strength, preparation for the energy, power donation for the negative strength, then lots of duration. So range doesn't actually matter with Nova's 4, it's all based on duration. So yeah, now somebody might say, why don't we use Coaction Drift? But Coaction Drift doesn't actually work with power donation. Uh, they don't like affect each other, so, but you can put it on if you really want to. So yeah. Now, Wisp is very good because Wisp allows the Tomb Finger to charge faster and shoot faster. Here's what I'm running, just a high strength build, not augmented. I have Eclipse on the 4 because I don't use her 4. Obviously with the moats, this gives you like an insane amount of speed. Just don't use the shock moat because that will slow the enemies down. And you can pretty much AFK with this, like, that's all you really need. So one people won't really expect is Nidus. I'm just running a maximum strength build, and this is for Parasitic Link. So as you can see, this gives 94% damage increase, and when Ivara is linked, then she casts the wire, you get like crazy percentage boost, and it makes Ivara's wire like super strong. So yeah, this is very cool. Necros, duh, I mean, you know, who doesn't use Necros? Just maximum range with Despoil. Pretty much all you really need. Desecrate, there you go. And that's really it. So this strategy with Ivara is designed to pretty much replace khora. I believe Ivara to actually be better than khora. I mean, khora gives you the extra loot drops. Well, a chance for extra loot drops. But Ivara's kills per second can be just so much higher than khora's. It's a lot easier to play. It's more fun. And who really needs extra loot in this game? Come on, 65% extra loot is nothing. And that's pretty much it for today's video. I mean, it's a quick one, but it's a useful one. Hopefully you find some usage in it. Go farm some steel essence solo, have some fun. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.